Bruce Lee is walking through Chinatown with his 5-year-old son Brandon when 3 gang members surround them and say, "Chinese don't belong here." What happens in the next 15 seconds doesn't just end a threat. Plants a seed that grows for 20 years. And what one of those gang members says at Brandon Lee's funeral in 1993, that's what reveals the true power of how Bruce chose to handle that moment. Los Angeles, California, Chinatown, Saturday afternoon, October 1970. The streets are crowded with weekend shop, Chinese groceries, herb shop, restaurants with roasted ducks hanging in window. The smell of incense and 5-spice and frying oil thick in the air. Red lanterns strung between buildings. Chinese characters on every sign. This is the heart of LA's Chinese community. Pocket of home for immigrants. A place where Cantonese and Mandarin flow more freely than English. Bruce Lee is walking down the sidewalk holding his son's hand. Brandon is 5 years old, small for his age, black hair cut short, wearing a red t-shirt and blue jeans. He's carrying a small plastic bag with a toy inside, something Bruce just bought him from one of the shops. Brandon is chattering away, asking questions, pointing at things, the endless curiosity of a 5-year-old discovering the world. Bruce is dressed casually, dark slacks, a light jacket over a white shirt, sunglasses. His hair is neat, professional. He looks like any other father spending Saturday with his son, running errands, enjoying the afternoon, quality time. Linda is home with Shannon, their 2-year-old daughter. This is Bruce and Brandon time, father and son. Rare moments when Bruce isn't teaching, training, or fighting for his career, just being dad. They're walking toward their parked car. Bruce is carrying grocery bag, fresh vegetable, Chinese herbs for soup, ingredients you can't find in American supermarket, things that taste like home, like his mother's cooking. He comes to Chinatown every few weeks for this. Connection to his root, connection to culture, teaching Brandon where they come from. The street is busy but not crowded. People moving in both directions. Old Chinese women with shopping bags. Young families. Merchants sweeping their storefront. The normal rhythm of a Saturday in Chinatown. Safe. Familiar. Community. Then Bruce notices them. 3 young men leaning against a building ahead. Late teens, early 20s. White leather jackets despite the warm weather. Jeans. Boots. Slicked back hair. That deliberate tough guy posture. Arms crossed. Eyes scanning the street. Looking for something. Looking for someone. Bruce recognizes the type immediately. Gang members, low-level street thugs, not serious criminals, just angry young men looking for identity, belonging, and someone to blame for their problem. Chinatown attracts them sometimes. Easy targets. Immigrants who don't speak English well. Old people who won't fight back. Shop owners who'll pay protection money to avoid trouble. Bruce considers crossing the street, avoiding confrontation. He's got Brandon with him, doesn't want his son exposed to violence, doesn't want trouble, just wants to get to the car and go home. But crossing the street means showing fear, means teaching Brandon to run from bullies, means accepting that they don't belong here. That's not the lesson Bruce wants to teach. So Bruce keeps walking straight ahead, holding Brandon's hand. The 3 gang members notice them approaching. Their posture shift, predatory. One of them pushes off the wall, steps into the sidewalk, blocking the path. The other 2 follow, forming a wall. 3 bodies blocking the narrow sidewalk. Bruce stopped 10 feet away. Brandon stops with him. The little boy looks up at his father, confused, sensing tension but not understanding it yet. Bruce squeezes his son's hand gently, reassuring, "It's okay, Dad's here." The gang member in the center is the leader. Tallest, maybe 6 feet, thin but wiry, sharp featured, cold eyes, a scar on his left cheek. His name is Danny, 17 years old, dropped out of school 2 years ago, joined a gang called the East Side Riders. Small time, mostly petty theft and intimidation. Danny's trying to make a name for himself, move up in the organization, prove he's tough, prove he's valuable. Danny looks at Bruce and Brandon. His lips curl into a sneer. He says, "Wrong neighborhood." Chink. The word hangs in the air like poison. Harsh, deliberately cruel, designed to wound, to provoke. Bruce has heard it 1,000 times. Heard it in Hong Kong from British colonizers. Heard it in America from racists. Heard it his whole life. Usually he ignores it, lets it slide off. Not worth his energy, not worth his time. But Brandon is here. Brandon heard it. Bruce feels his son's hand tighten in his grip. Feels the little boy move closer to his leg, seeking protection. Brandon doesn't understand the word, but he understands the tone. Understands the threat. Bruce says calmly, Danny. We're just walking to our car. No trouble. Danny steps closer. The other two gang members spread out. Flanking. Tactical positioning. They've done this before. Surrounded people. Intimidated them. Usually work. Usually people give up their wallets, apologize, run away. Easy target. Danny says, this is our territory. Chinese come here, they pay the tax. Protection fee. He's making it up as he goes. There's no real protection rack, just an opportunity. A lone Chinese man with a kid probably has some cash. Easy score. Bruce says, I'm not paying you anything. Move aside. Danny's face hardened. He's not used to people standing up to him. Not used to being challenged. Especially not by some small Chinese guy holding a kid's hand. Danny says, you got balls, I'll give you that, but you're outnumbered 3-1, and you got your kid with you. So here's what's gonna happen. You give me your wallet, we let you walk away. Nobody gets hurt, especially not the kid. The threat is clear, deliberate. If Bruce doesn't comply, they'll hurt Brandon. Use the child as leverage. It's evil but effective. Most parents will give up anything to protect their children. Danny knows this, counts on it. Bruce feels rage building, cold, controlled. Not the hot anger that makes you stupid, the cold fury that makes you dangerous. These men just threatened his son, threatened Brandon, crossed the one line that turns Bruce Lee from a peaceful martial artist into something primal, something deadly. But Bruce doesn't show it. His face stays calm. His voice stays level. He says to Brandon, close your eyes. Brandon looks up at his father, confused. Bruce says again, gently, close your eyes, Brandon. Count to 20. Don't open them until I say. Brandon, trusting his father completely, squeezes his eyes shut, starts counting out loud in his small voice. 1, 2, 3. Bruce lets go of Brandon's hand, steps forward, sets the grocery bags down carefully, straightens up, looks at Danny, says, you made a mistake. You threatened my son. Danny laughs, says, what are you gonna do about it? Bruce says, I'm going to teach you something. It'll take 15 seconds. If you're smart, you'll remember it for the rest of your life. The gang members look at each other, confused. Is this Chinese guy serious? He's outnumbered 3-1. He's smaller than all of them. He's got a kid right there. Does he actually think he can fight? Danny says, okay, tough guy. Show me. What happens next takes 15 seconds, but those 15 seconds get retold for the next 20 years, get passed down in Chinatown, get whispered about in dojos and gyms, become legend. Danny throws the first punch, a wide, looping right hook, telegraph, sloppy, street fighting, no training, just raw aggression. The punch travels toward Bruce's head, slow, predictable. Bruce doesn't block it, just move 6 inches to the left. The punch passes through empty space. Danny's momentum carries him forward, off balance. Bruce's right hand snaps out. A straight punch to Danny's solar plexus. Not hard, just precise, just enough. Danny's breath exits. All of it. His knees buckle. He doubles over, gasping. The other two gang members react. Come in from both sides simultaneous. The one on the left, a stocky guy named Rick, grabs for Bruce's jacket, trying to tackle him, hold him down. Street tactics. Bruce pivots, uses Rick's momentum, redirects it. Rick goes flying past, crashes into Danny. Both go down in a tangle of limb. The third gang member, a tall skinny kid named Pete, pulls out a knife, 4-inch blade, cheap folding knife. He holds it out, threatening, says, back off or I'll cut you. Bruce's expression doesn't change, doesn't show fear, doesn't show anger, just focus, just calculation. He moves forward, not away, toward the knife, the unexpected direction. Pete's brain can't process. Bruce's left hand shoots out, grabs Pete's wrist, twist, the knife falls, clatters on the pavement. Bruce sweeps Pete's leg. The kid goes down hard, flat on his back, wind knocked out. 15 seconds. From Danny's first punch to all 3 gang members on the ground. 15 seconds to neutralize a 3-on-1 threat without breaking a sweat, without raising his voice, without traumatizing his son who's still counting with his eyes closed. 18, 19, 20. Bruce picks up the knife, folds it, puts it in his pocket, looks at the 3 gang members struggling to get up, says, stay down. They stay down. Something in his voice, something in his eyes. They realize they made a terrible mistake, picked the wrong target. This isn't some random Chinese immigrant. This is someone dangerous, someone trained, someone way out of their league. If you've ever had to protect someone you love from a real threat, you know that feeling. That moment when everything else disappears except keeping them safe. Drop a comment if you've been there. Bruce says to Brandon, you can open your eyes now. Brandon opens his eyes, looks around, sees the 3 men on the ground, looks up at his father, says, what happened? Bruce says, they fell down. Sometimes people fall when they're not careful. Brandon accepts this completely. 5-year-old logic. People fall. That's normal. He says, can we go home now? Bruce says, in a minute. Bruce looks at Danny, the leader, still on the ground, still struggling to breathe properly. Bruce crouches down, gets to eye level, says quietly, you threatened my son. I could hurt you for that, could break bone, could send you to the hospital, but I'm not going to. Want to know why? Danny can't speak, just nod. Bruce says, because you're 17 years old, still a kid yourself, still have time to become something better than this. You're angry, I get that. Life's been hard. Nobody gave you chances. Nobody believed in you, so you joined a gang, found brothers, found identity, found power. I understand, but this isn't power. Threatening children isn't strength. Intimidating immigrants isn't courage. It's weakness disguised as toughness. Bruce says, real strength is discipline, training, building yourself into something valuable. Real power is protecting people weaker than you, not exploiting them. You want to be tough? Learn martial art. I'll teach you, for free, every Saturday. You and your friends, all three of you. I'll show you what real strength looks like. Danny stares at Bruce, confused. This man just destroyed them, could have hurt them badly, could have called the police, could have humiliated them. Instead, he's offering to teach them, to help them. It doesn't make sense. Bruce stands up, pulls out a business card, his school address, drops it on Danny's chest, says, think about it. Show up next Saturday if you want to change your life. Don't show up if you want to keep being a punk who threatens children. Bruce picks up his grocery bag, takes Brandon's hand. They walk past the three gang members. Brandon looks back over his shoulder, curious, then looks up at his father, says, Dad, why were those men on the ground? Bruce says, sometimes people need to fall down before they can stand up the right way. Brandon thinks about this, nods seriously, accepts it. They reach the car. Bruce loads the groceries, buckles Brandon into his seat, drives home. The whole incident took less than 5 minutes. Bruce doesn't mention it to Linda, doesn't make a big deal out of it. Just another day, just another confrontation, just another opportunity to teach. Bruce doesn't expect to see those gang members again. Figures they'll be too embarrassed, too proud, too stuck in their ways. Figures the business card will end up in the trash. Most people don't change, don't take opportunities when they're offered, prefer comfortable misery to difficult growth. But the next Saturday, Bruce is teaching his regular class. 40 students working through drill.
Practicing technique.
Bruce is walking between them, correcting form, adjusting angle, teaching. The door opens. 3 young men walk in, nervous, out of place, still wearing their leather jackets, still looking tough, but their eyes are different, uncertain, hopeful. Danny, Rick, Pete, the 3 gang members from Chinatown. The class stops. Everyone watches, sensing something happening. Bruce walks over to the 3 young men, doesn't smile, doesn't welcome them with open arms, just looks at them. Wait, Danny says, you said you'd teach us. Bruce says, I said I'd teach you if you want to change your life. Do you? Danny hesitates, then nods, says, yeah, I do. We all do. Bruce says, okay. Rule. You show up on time. You work hard. You respect everyone here. You leave the gang bullshit at the door. This is a school, not a street. Understood. All 3 nod. Say yes. Mean it. Bruce says, good. Get changed. We start with basic. For the next 2 years, Danny, Rick, and Pete train at Bruce's school. Every Saturday, sometimes twice a week. They're terrible at first. Undisciplined. No body control. No focus. Years of street fighting have taught them all the wrong habits. Bruce breaks them down. Rebuilds them. Patient. Demanding. Never giving up on them. Slowly, they transform. Not just physically. Mentally. Emotionally. They learn discipline. Learn respect. Learn that real strength isn't about dominating others. It's about mastering yourself. They start to let go of their anger, start to see a future beyond the gang, start to believe they can be something more. Danny quits the East Side Riders, gets a job, starts taking night class. His gang tries to pull him back, threatens him. Bruce shows up one night, talks to the gang leader. Nobody knows what he says, but after that night, they leave Danny alone, give him permission to walk away. Something about Bruce Lee makes even hardened gangsters reconsider their choices. Rick and Pete follow, leave the gang, find job, get their lives together. Bruce doesn't just teach them martial art. He teaches them how to live, how to think, how to build a life worth living. Becomes a father figure, the father none of them had, the mentor they needed.
In 1973, Bruce dies.
Danny, Rick, and Pete are devastated. They attend the funeral, stand in the back, pay their respect. Danny thinks about that day in Chinatown, the day Bruce could have destroyed them but chose to teach them instead. The day 15 seconds changed his life. He thinks about Brandon, that little boy counting with his eyes closed. Wonders how he's doing. Hopes Bruce taught him everything. Hopes Brandon knows how lucky he was to have that father. Years pass. Danny becomes a youth counselor. Works with at-risk kids. Kids like he was. Angry, lost, headed down a bad path. He tells them about Bruce Lee, about the day in Chinatown, about 15 seconds that offered him a choice, about choosing growth over pride. He saves dozens of kids, maybe hundreds, all because Bruce saved him first. March 31st, 1993. Brandon Lee is dead, shot on a movie set.
Freak accident.
Prop gun malfunction. 28 years old, just starting his career, following in his father's footsteps. Gone too soon, just like Bruce. The funeral is in Seattle. Hundreds of people attend. Family, friends, Hollywood stars, martial artists from around the world. Everyone touched by the Lee family legacy. The service is beautiful, heartbreaking. Linda speaks, Shannon speaks. Everyone talks about Brandon's talent, his kindness, his potential cut short. Then a man approaches Linda, late 30s, well-dressed, professional. She doesn't recognize him. He says his name is Danny, says he knew Bruce, says he needs to tell her something. Have you ever had someone change your life when you least expected it? When you didn't deserve it? Share your story below. Danny tells Linda about that day in Chinatown, October 1970, 23 years ago, about threatening Bruce and Brandon, about the 15 second, about the business card, about 2 years of training, about becoming a youth counselor, about the hundreds of kids he's helped, about building a life he never thought possible. Danny says, your husband could have hurt me that day, could have destroyed me. I deserved it. I threatened his son, threatened Brandon, but he didn't. He taught me instead, gave me a chance I never expected, never deserved. That choice, his choice to teach instead of destroy, that choice saved my life. Danny says, I never got to thank Bruce, never got to tell him what he meant to me. He died before I had the courage. But I need you to know, Brandon was 5 years old that day, counting with his eyes closed, trusting his father completely, and Bruce protected him, not just physically, emotionally. Brandon never saw violence that day, never saw his father hurt anyone, just saw 3 men fall down. Bruce made sure of that. Danny's voice cracked. He says, Bruce taught me that being a father means protecting your children from everything, even from seeing you at your most dangerous, even from knowing what you're capable of. That's real strength. That's real love. And I've tried to live that way ever since. Tried to be that kind of man, that kind of father. Danny says, I have a son now, 5 years old, same age Brandon was that day, and I tell him about Bruce Lee, about the man who could have destroyed his father but chose to save him instead, about 15 seconds that changed everything, about how real strength is choosing to teach instead of hurt. Linda is crying, hugging this stranger who isn't really a stranger, who's connected to her family in ways she never knew, who carries Bruce's legacy forward in ways Bruce never saw. She says, Bruce would be proud of you. Danny says, I hope so. I've spent 23 years trying to earn that, trying to be worthy of the chance he gave me. They stand there at Brandon's funeral, 2 people connected by 15 seconds in Chinatown, by one man's choice to plant a seed instead of salt the earth, by a philosophy that rippled forward through decades, through generations, through hundreds of lives saved because one man chose mercy over vengeance. That's what 15 seconds created. Not just one lesson, not just 3 reformed gang members, an entire chain of transformation. Kids saved, lives changed, fathers created, all because Bruce Lee looked at 3 punk gang members threatening his son and saw not enemies to destroy but students to teach, seeds to plant, potential to nurture. Danny went on to establish a youth center in Los Angeles, named it the Brandon Lee Community Center, dedicated to giving at-risk kids second chance, teaching them martial art, teaching them discipline, teaching them that one bad choice doesn't define you, that anyone can change if someone believes in them enough to teach them how. Over 30 years, that center helped thousands of kids, kept them out of gang, kept them in school, gave them mentors, gave them hope, all because of 15 seconds in Chinatown, all because Bruce Lee chose character over capability, chose teaching over destroying, chose planting seeds that would grow for decades after his death. Who have you written off as unredeemable? Who have you dismissed as too far gone? Because 15 seconds is all it takes to plant a seed. Bruce gave Danny those 15 seconds, then gave him 2 years, then gave him a philosophy that saved hundreds of lives. The 15 seconds changed the trajectory. Everything after proved the wisdom. Real strength isn't in your fist, it's in your choices. It's in what you do when you have every right to hurt someone and choose to teach them instead. That's legacy, that's power, that's 15 seconds that echo forever.